Hi friends, in my previous two videos I have explained about production of magnetic field around the current carrying wire and around the current carrying coil. Now let's see production of current by using the change in flux of a magnet. So for this we will see the Faraday's law. The Faraday's law generally explains the induced current. So what is induced current? This all the upcoming induced current and the Faraday's law we will see in this total activity. So let's proceed to our activity. So for this activity we require the materials like bar magnet, next coil, and this coil is connected to one galvanometer. Next let's proceed to our activity. Connect the terminals of the coil to a sensitive ammeter or galvanometer as shown in the figure. So we have to connect the coil to the galvanometer as shown in figure. Next, normally we would not accept any deflections of needle in the galvanometer because there is to be no electromotive force in this circuit. So as there is no EMF, what happens? There is no deflections in the galvanometer. Let's proceed. Now if we push a bar magnet towards the coil with its north pole facing the coil, a remarkable thing happens. So while the magnet is moving towards the coil, the needle in the galvanometer deflects, showing that a current has been set up in the coil. The galvanometer does not deflect if the magnet is at rest. So for these total lines I will explain see. So previous we have seen there was a coil and the coil is connected to galvanometer. But in this case what happens? The needle in the galvanometer does not deflect, but later we have made the bar magnet with north pole moving towards the coil. So in this case what happens? There will be the deflections in the galvanometer. So by this we can say that some current is induced. So let's observe one more thing. If the galvanometer deflection is seen when the bar magnet is moving towards it, later if the bar magnet is moved into the coil and when it is in stop or when it is in rest position, what happens? Then the deflections will stop. There is no more deflections. Later if the magnet is moved away from the coil, the needle in the galvanometer again deflects, but in the opposite direction, which means that a current is set up in the coil in the opposite direction. So for these three lines I will say, see, now we are moving the bar magnet outside of the coil. So if you are moving the bar magnet out of the coil, what happens? There will be also the current will be induced, but this produced current will be in opposite. So this can be proven by observing the deflection of the coil. When the bar magnet is moving inwards, the deflection may be towards right. Let's assume towards right. When the bar magnet is moving away from the coil, the deflection will be opposite. So it will be moved towards left. So this is the case of this total paragraph. Let's proceed. If we use the end of the south pole of a magnet instead of north pole in the above activity, the experiment works as just described, but the deflections are exactly reversed. So we have seen, in this case we have seen that by the north pole, if you move the bar magnet towards the coil, due to the change of the flux around the coil, what happens? First, when it is inwards, the coil moves to right. When the coil is outwards, it moves to left. This is all about when it is facing north. Now let's reverse the coil. See, now let's reverse the bar magnet. So what happens? The north will be shifted as south and the south will be shifted as the north. So when the south is moved towards the coil, what happens? The deflections will be opposite of previous case. When the south of the bar magnet is moved towards the coil, the deflection of the pointer will be towards left at the first situation. When the bar magnet is moved away from the coil, then what happens? The deflection of the coil means the deflection of the needle will be at the right position. So this is total opposite of previous. Let's proceed. Further experimentation enables us to understand that the relative motion of the bar magnet and the coil set up a current in the coil. It makes no difference whether the magnet is moved towards the coil or the coil towards the magnet. So for this total lines we can check that it may be any case. The coil may be moving towards the bar magnet or the bar magnet moving towards the coil. Any other case, what happens? The flux should be changed with the coil. So in this case, some current will be produced. This is total about this paragraph. Next, whenever there is the continuous change in flux linked with the closed coil, a current is generated in the coil. So this is the case we have seen. So there is a continuous change of the magnetic flux which is present in the bar magnet, and it is linked with the closed coil. Then the current is generated in the coil. So this is one of the form of Faraday's law. So now we have seen Faraday's law means simple. Due to the changes of magnetic flux, due to in the presence of closed coil, some current is produced in the coil. This is the Faraday's law. Let's proceed. The current generated is called as the induced current. So whatever the current is produced due to the continuous changes of flux in a closed coil, and the generated current is called as the induced current and is set up by an induced electromotive force. So whatever the EMF is acting in this case, it is called induced EMF. This is the case. This phenomena of getting induced current is called as the electromagnetic induction. So electromagnetic induction is one of the important topic. Next, Faraday observed that the changes in the magnetic flux through the coil are responsible for generation of current in the coil. He also observed that the rapid changes in the flux through the coil generates greater induced current or induced EMF. After observing this important factor, he proposed a law of electromagnetic induction, which is as follows. So for this I will explain first. See, so what he observed means, if we have moved the coil one time inwards and later outwards, by this case we have seen small generation of current which makes the needle to deflect in the galvanometer. If you make the same activity continuously, movement of bar magnet inwards the coil and outwards the coil continuously, what happens? This rapid movement makes the generation of current continuously. This total factor was observed by our total Faraday's experiment. Next, the induced EMF generated in the closed loop is equal to the rate of change of magnetic flux passing through it. So this is the point whatever I said. So whatever the current is induced, it will be depending on the change of the magnetic flux. So how much time the magnetic flux is changing. So if the flux is changing little bit, so the current production will be also less. So if the magnetic flux is rapid, then the current production will also rapid, means more. So this is the case. This is the total. The induced EMF generated in a closed loop is equal to the rate of change of magnetic flux passing through it. This is the point. So once again I will say, see, simple friends, whatever the EMF is induced in the closed loop, it will be equal to the rate of change of magnetic flux. So how much time with how much speed the magnetic flux is changing, that much of current will be induced. This is a total case. Simple friends. Next, let's take the mathematical. In mathematical form, we can write this as induced EMF equal to change in flux by change in time. So this is the mathematical statement form we have taken. Epsilon, it is about induced EMF equal to change in flux by change in time. Let us go. See, the equation is called as the Faraday's laws of induced induction, where pi is the flux linked with the coil. So whatever the pi we have taken, it is related with the flux linked with the coil. Let pi naught be the flux linked with the singleton. So whatever the pi we have taken, it is about only for total number of fluxes, but the pi naught will indicate that it is only for singleton. Later, if there are n turns in the coil, the flux linked with the coil is n pi naught. So if pi naught is for single, if there are n turns, what happens? We will multiply the both pi naught into n turns. Then we will get n turns into pi naught. This is the case of the total. Next, pi equal to n turns into pi naught. This is the total equation we got still now. Friends, we have seen the pi naught. It is for change of flux for single turn. And if there are n turns, we will multiply the both. So the multiplication of single flux into number of turns, it will gives the result of total flux, the change of flux. So substitute this flux in our equation, that is induced EMF equal to change in flux by change in time. So if you do the change in flux by change in time, we will get the induced EMF. So this is our total of Faraday's law. So the first two videos, which is related to production of magnetic field by using the current carrying wire and current carrying coil. I will give the videos link in the description. Try to check.